Thank you very much for having me, by the way.
Sure.
I'm going to talk about, I suppose, you're absolutely right. LinkedIn is absolutely intimidating. Putting yourself out there in the public sphere, in the public eye, can be a very difficult thing. And whenever you log in, you can see so many people doing it so well. It can be difficult. You can start to think, how can I do this for myself, and how can I advance my own career? So today I'm really going to focus on what you can do to stand out on the platform, how you can gain a competitive edge over your competition, and how you can move into a career that you really enjoy, that you really love. Before I do that, though, I just wanted to say hello. My name is John. I'm the founder and director of a career guidance company called O Interviews. I've made it my job to help people prepare for interview, to write really lovely CVs, and to really just move into a career that they actually enjoy, that they actually love, and to find purposeful work. Speaking of finding a career that you like, I suppose it took me a while to figure that out for myself. I actually graduated as a psychiatric nurse now maybe 10 years ago, and I've actually never worked as a psychiatric nurse since. I graduated, I hopped on a plane to Canada, and I never looked back. I landed in Canada and I decided, while I was waiting for my nursing registration to come through, that I would take a job just in sales at Apple to keep the lights on and to keep the pints flowing and to have a good time while I was out there. Now, what I didn't actually anticipate is that I would absolutely love the culture and the job and I suppose what I was doing at Apple. And I decided, much to my mother's extreme dissatisfaction, that I was going to leave the nursing behind and I was going to stick it out at Apple. So I stayed at Apple, I worked in sales, I started a master's in leadership and human resources, and I ended up working as a HR manager at one of their retail stores. It was fantastic. Fast forward a few years, I've come back to Ireland, and since then I've worked in marketing, I've worked in business advice, I've worked in export development, and I've worked as a careers officer at a university. So to say that my career path is varied is the understatement of the day. But look, I don't regret that. It's given me the opportunity and the clarity to understand what it is that I don't want to do, and an understanding of what it is that I love to do, which is to help people find purposeful work. So, why am I here today? I'm here today to talk to you about how LinkedIn is a platform that you can use to gain an edge on your competition. Your competition being the peers you have in your industry, the people that are applying for the same job that you're applying for, and the people that are interviewing for the job that you're interviewing for. LinkedIn is an absolutely powerful networking tool that can give you an edge over your competition, and I suppose elevate your career to new heights in ways that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. I want to talk to you today. Yes, LinkedIn is a fantastic tool for a number of reasons. So if you're a job seeker, it can provide you access and an opportunity to connect with professionals at every level of the industry that you're targeting, at every level of the company that you're targeting even. It can give you up-to-date information on companies, who your interviewers will be, trends within the industry and trends within a particular company. And let's just say you've actually found a career that you absolutely love. You've found what it is that you want to do and you want to elevate that. Well, you can establish yourself as, I suppose, an authority, a thought leader. I hate the word influencer, but an influencer within that professional industry itself. So there's a lot to gain, okay? I'm not going to bore you with the numbers. A lot of people use LinkedIn. 900 million, I believe, to be close to exact. 50 million of those people use the platform to apply for jobs every single week. Now, I got this number online, so it must be true, because everything online is the truth, you know. But apparently 9 people per second apply for jobs. So It is a very, very effective tool and a very, very heavily utilized tool for finding that next step in your career. And everyone's using it. I suppose within your target industry, you should too. So today, we're going to go over my 3 Ps for success on the platform. Who here actually has LinkedIn? Sorry? Okay, so we all have it, okay. LinkedIn, not all LinkedIn profiles are born equal, I'm afraid to say. I've seen some shocking ones in my time. And if that's you, this is going to be very helpful, okay? I'm going to dive into what it takes to make a great profile. And that's great. I'm going to dive into what it takes to build your presence. And I suppose to establish yourself as a thought leader or an influencer or an authority, being the better word, within your chosen industry. And we'll talk about what you can do to keep it up. Okay, so let's dive right in. I want to talk about your profile picture. Your profile picture is the first thing that someone will look at on your LinkedIn profile. So it's very, very important to get it right. I would love to say otherwise, but people, human beings, can be shallow. I can too. And they will judge you based on your profile picture. If I'm a recruiter and I'm screening hundreds or dozens of candidates and I see a profile picture that doesn't reflect someone's professional values or doesn't reflect someone that I'd like to work for my company, I'm not even going to give them a second look. I'm going to move straight on. So there's a few things that you can do to ensure that your profile picture is up to scratch. The first thing is a high quality headshot, okay? I want your head and shoulders to take up around 60% of the frame. I see a lot of people who have the full body shot, or perhaps they're beside a sign or something like that, and that's fine. But you want your potential employer, you want your potential network to actually know what it is that you look like. So we'll look at that. And also, when I say a high quality headshot, I don't need you going down the street and asking the wedding photographer to take some photos of you. The camera phone that you have in your pocket is actually going to be fantastic. It'll do the job. Unless you're operating on a phone from the early 2000s, you'll be grand, okay? This one's important here as well. It's important to dress as you would for your dream job. I don't mean, not everyone needs to wear a suit, okay? Let's just say my dream career is to work in traditional banking or finance. Well, it makes sense that I would wear a suit for that, because that's an industry that traditionally it's a little bit more professional whenever it comes to their attire, and they'll wear that kind of outfit. But let's just say I'm a graphic designer, I'm a freelancer, I'm an artist. Well, it will be absolutely out of place for me to be wearing the 3-piece suit, you know? So I suppose understand your industry, understand your target audience, and dress appropriately, and dress in a way that reflects those values and that approach. And up next, very simple, we want to avoid distractions. Lovely mountain in the back, or you know, anything that takes the viewer's eyes away from you, we want to keep out of sight, okay? All right, here's a few things what not to do when it comes to your profile picture. And people kind of roll their eyes at this. I've given this talk a few times, and you would think, well, no one does that. I promise you, people make some hilariously bad mistakes on LinkedIn when it comes to their profile picture. I call this guy here Group Shot Greg. We've all been there on a holiday with the lads, maybe at our friend's wedding or whatever it is. He looks great. He's got a lovely suit on, sunglasses, looks real cool. But this is not a photo that reflects someone's professional values. It's more reflective of a really good time and something that isn't really an image, not an image that you want to project out to your professional network. Our throwback here, this is a beautiful picture, beautiful bride, probably on the happiest day of her life. But you know what? It's a very personal image. It's not necessarily professional and not reflective of her professional brand. We want to avoid it at all costs. Our adventurer friend, Annie the Adventurer. Now, if I'm a recruiter, I'm going to skip this every single time. I can see what she's trying to do here. She is trying to showcase her love of the outdoors, her spirit of adventure. She's trying to distinguish herself as someone that's interesting. But you know what? I don't know what she looks like. I'm distracted by the lovely mountain in the background. And if I'm going through as a recruiter and screening hundreds of profiles, I'm going to skip this one every single time. Then it hardly needs to be said, but just in case, photo of you in the pub, cigarette in the mouth, pint in hand, not a professional image. Let's skip it. And it does happen, okay? Here's an example of a few great shots, okay? See here we have our head and shoulder images, 60% of the frame. Really effective use of the portrait mode here on the second picture. My friend here, notice how he's not wearing a suit. Maybe he doesn't need to. Maybe he's a freelancer, graphic designer. He's targeting perhaps a more traditional industry. He doesn't need to do that, okay? Okay, and that is profile photo. Let's move on to our LinkedIn banner. The LinkedIn banner is that piece of real estate that sits above your profile picture and above your name on your profile. Now, let me be clear. This isn't the most important part of your LinkedIn profile, but it's the small percentages that might get someone to scroll on. So it's important that you do this right. It's a little bit of an opportunity that you have to showcase your personal brand, your professional identity, and it can, if you do it well, leave a strong first impression. What I would recommend if I were you is, if you don't have one on your profile, use a tool like canva.com. It's free graphic design software. It has the templates built in. Use it to make yourself a lovely banner. This isn't something that you're going to need to change very frequently. It's very easy done, 10 minutes of your time. And it might be the thing that gets a recruiter to scroll on down your page and learn more. Okay. Let's talk about our LinkedIn headline. The LinkedIn headline, after your name, is the first thing that a recruiter will read on your LinkedIn profile. It's your elevator pitch. It's your opportunity to capture the interest of, I suppose, your target audience, or the recruiter or the hiring manager or the decision maker, will say, in the company that you want to work for. So it's important to get it right. And if you get it wrong, it might be the last thing that they read on your page. They might move on. I want to give you a little bit of a formula that you can use here. LinkedIn will automatically, I suppose, assign you a headline. For example, let's just say I am a psychiatric nurse working for the HSE. It will say, John O'Hara, psychiatric nurse at HSE. And that's fine, okay? Role at company. What I want you to do and what I want you to adopt is role/specific achievement, okay? So instead of B2B sales rep for Microsoft, it reads B2B sales rep, 1.4 million generated in 2022. Now, if I'm a hiring manager and I am looking to recruit someone in sales, my interest is immediately piqued. It's absolutely captured, and I want to learn more about this person. If they can sell 1.4 million for Microsoft, maybe they can sell 1.4 million for me. Moving on, let's just say you don't have that achievement that you can speak to. Let's do role/value added, okay? So, social media manager, helping software startups manage and grow their social media to drive more sales. Here, in just a line, in less than 220 characters, you've shared the value that you add to your potential employer. You've shown the impact that you can provide, and you've, I suppose, piqued the interest. You've caused them to want to learn more about you and ask the question, can they do the same for me? Okay, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay, here we go. So the next part of your LinkedIn profile, and for the sake of time, I'm going to tackle all three at once, is your About section, your Experience section, and your Education section. And this is actually perhaps one of the most important things I'll tell you about today. You can make a generic LinkedIn profile that tries to appeal to everyone, and in doing so, you'll appeal to absolutely nobody. You need to have a crystal clear idea of who it is you want to connect with, who is your target audience, who is going to, I suppose, benefit you in your career, and write these sections for them. So, for example, I am a career guidance professional, and my target audience is job seekers. I help people prepare for interviews, and I write lovely CVs for them so they don't have to do it themselves. So my target audience is in this room. So it's really important that I can showcase in these sections that I have the experience and the skill set that will allow me to do that job for you very, very well. So you can be sure I've talked about my time as a human resources manager. You can be sure I've talked about my time that, I've provided hundreds of interviews over the years. I'll talk about my time as a careers officer at a university, and I suppose throw in all those experiences that add authenticity to the service that I'm trying to provide. But you can be also sure that there's quite a bit of experience that I have that actually isn't that relevant to you. Has anyone here ever been in an Apple store? No? Yes? In the Apple store, they have these things called the Genius Bar, okay? So all the customers will go down with their broken devices and have them fixed by a genius. Well, I was the Genius Bar manager. And if there was ever a more ridiculous person that was given that job, I would not like to meet them. I have absolutely no clue about technical repairs, but I found myself there. And on my day-to-day, I dealt with angry customers, dropped their phones down the toilet, and didn't buy the Apple Care Protection Plan. Now, do I talk about this on my LinkedIn profile? Absolutely not. It was a big part of my job, for sure, but it's not relevant to you, my target audience, so I don't go into it. That's the moral of the story, is keep it relevant to your target audience, okay? Okay. Skipping on, and then look, very quickly, you have a section called the skills section on LinkedIn. Admittedly, I have a love-hate relationship with this. If someone says they're skilled at A, B, and C, I kind of want to see the proof of it, Don't say it, show me. But it is an important section because it increases your discoverability on the platform. Let's just say you're in software development, okay? It'd be very important for you in this skills section to say that you're skilled in Python, HTML, JavaScript, all those other ones, because recruiters are actually searching these terms and searching for candidates with these terms in LinkedIn's search functionality. So it's important to have it in there, okay, to increase your discoverability. All right. So that's it. That's your profile. Important to have a great profile picture, great banner, headline, and then your about, experience, education, and skills section. It's pretty simple, okay? Unfortunately, that's where the simplicity ends. Here's where the grind begins. Anybody can set up a LinkedIn profile picture. However, or can set up a LinkedIn profile rather, but it's now where the grind begins. I actually recently started going to the gym. It turns out whenever you hit your 30s, the pints and the cakes, they hang around. The extra pounds start to hang around in ways that they didn't do in the past. And I've been going for 4 weeks. 4 weeks, all right? And at the end of this 4 weeks, I am genuinely dumbfounded as to why I haven't lost like 30 pounds. I've been working hard for 4 weeks. Like, it hardly takes longer than that, But it turns out it actually does. And LinkedIn, in a way, is kind of the same. You can set up your profile, and it can be absolutely beautiful. But unless you actually implement the daily habits over a sustained period of time, you're wasting your time. Like me in the gym. Okay, the first way we're going to do that is we're going to build your network. Nothing says LinkedIn newbie like a profile with 2 or 3 or even 20 or 30 connections. What you want to do is you want to build a profile with as many relevant connections as possible. You want to target people within your target industry, show them your value, and connect with them, okay? And the more people you connect with, the more people, I suppose, that will be exposed to you and exposed to your insights, even beyond that as well. So here's what I want to do. I want to show you a quick example here of LinkedIn's search functionality that can help you connect with the right people. Let's just say you're a software developer and you want to work with Google. What you can do is use LinkedIn's search functionality to filter through anyone that works for Google in Ireland in software development, and just have a list of them here on the profile in front of you. So you can see here, I searched with filters. I typed in the word recruiter. I made sure I was searching for second and third degree connections. And right here, I have 36 results of recruiter at Google, technical recruiter of Google, recruiter at Google. Now this is just one example, but it does showcase the power of LinkedIn's search functionality and your ability to connect with relevant targets in your industry, okay? 36 might seem like a lot. It's actually not. So it's really important that you get it right. You're actually only going to have one chance to connect with these people. So let's do everything you can now to make sure that they don't reject you. And they will reject you. But we'll get to that. One thing you can do is, I suppose, effectively use LinkedIn's personalized message. You can send, I believe it's a 300 character note with each invitation you send. I used to work for a marketing company in Belfast, and it was my job to help identify leads for my clients. So I would take the keys to someone's LinkedIn profile, and I would build their network using lead generation campaigns. So we'd send 20 invitations a day or 30 invitations a day or whatever it was to their target audience and try and get them connected to potential buyers. I can tell you now, the campaigns that I ran without a personalized message attached to the invitation flopped every single time. Absolute waste of time. It's very, very important that you send a message to your target about why you want to connect. And to be honest, they're not dumb. A recruiter, if I'm a software engineer and I'm trying to connect with a recruiter at Google, they know it's because I want a job. So it's up to me to be honest about that, and it's up to me, transparent, and also just showcase the value in that. Okay. I don't have time for that example. All right, never mind. So we've started to build our network. We've established a habit of connecting with people within our target audience. Now it's time to start posting on the platform. Now, it's important to know I could talk all day about the ins and outs of an effective post on the platform that is LinkedIn, and we don't have the time. We can't get into it. However, I suppose, want to communicate to you the simplicity of three approaches, okay? That's our text-only approach, our text-only post, rather. This is a post you make on LinkedIn with only text. Now, these are actually engineered to be effective. They can be punchy, they can be smart, they can be witty, and they can have, I suppose, extensive reach if done well. Now, if they're done poorly, and they absolutely can be done poorly, they can be cumbersome and boring. Our next approach is the video approach. Now, video, like on many platforms, is king on LinkedIn. I believe a video post in comparison to a text post will get 3 times more engagement. Now, if you ask me, you might get 3 times more engagement, but it's definitely 3 times more difficult to post a video of yourself or a video of something on the platform and open yourself up to that scrutiny. But the people that do reap the rewards. So it showcases, I suppose, your professional brand more than a text-only post will do. Showcases your personality, and I suppose allows you to connect with your network a little bit more effectively. And the last way I want to talk about is the effective use of graphics, the effective use of photos. The old adage, a photo or a picture tells 1,000 words, is absolutely true in this instance. And, you know, if you're not comfortable with perhaps with the video posts, graphic and photos are a great place to start. A photo of your commute to work, maybe you walk to work, a photo of that, a photo of your work from home setup, a photo of, you know, your new project you're working on or whatever it may be. Don't ask me why, but they get great engagement. So know that and lean into that, okay? By using these 3 types of posts, rather, you can stand out on LinkedIn and engage with your audience in meaningful ways. And a really good way and a really important thing to remember is use keywords. What keywords are important to your target audience? If they're recruiters, what skills are important? Inject those keywords into your posts and it will aid your discoverability on the platform. Okay, 1 second here. Oh yeah, okay. So I talked about best practices there, the effective use of keywords. Please use them effectively. However, something you can do here is to support yourself and to make your post that little bit more engaging. LinkedIn is a simple enough platform. You know, there's no one reinventing the wheel there. You'll notice that people are using the same kind of posts, the same format, be it the text lists, be it, you know, a particular style of image or whatever it is that gets great engagement. Go on your LinkedIn and notice the patterns, notice what's working well, and try and emulate that. I'm not saying to copy anyone's posts, what I am saying is to, I suppose, see who's doing well and ask yourself the question, how can you wrap their method around your own message? And then, look, be satisfied with good enough. I am a perfectionist. I will sit on a post for days wondering, you know, is this witty enough? Is this smart enough? Will this be successful? It's a waste of time. The way to make better posts is to just post. Keep posting and learn from your mistakes and carry on down that path. Okay. Yeah, one of my favorite books, and just to add to my last point, one of my favorite books is by a fellow named James Clear. He's written a book called Atomic Habits. And in it, he talks about getting bogged down when it comes to finding the best way to do something. It's easy to get bogged down trying to find the optimal plan for change, the fastest way to lose weight, or the best program to build muscle, the perfect idea for a side hustle, whatever it may be. We're so focused on figuring out the best approach that we never get around to taking action. And it's the same with LinkedIn. If you're overly concerned about the posts that you're making, the people that you're trying to connect with, is my personalized message good enough? Then you're not going to get started. The best way to get good at that stuff is to just start, to just do it. And I'm running out of time here, but I will say I have created a little bit of a plan or a strategy that you can employ that will allow you to get the ball moving, okay? And I find if you do this, if you commit to this even 5 days a week, you will build a healthy network. You'll have far more influence than you do right now. And you will find career opportunities opening up to you on the platform. The first thing I want you to do is develop a daily habit of engaging your network. This is simply going as simple as it sounds. Go on, like 3 posts, comment on 3 posts. The more your name pops up, the more name recognition you'll have among your network. Do it. It's simple. It costs nothing. Develop a daily habit of expanding your network. So when I say that, 5 invitations to connect per day. You know what? Only 2 of them might agree to connect with you. But if you get into this habit of trying to connect and sending an invitation to 5 potential targets, you'll find that your network is blooming within a few months. Absolutely do it. One thing to be mindful of is LinkedIn does not appreciate bulk invitations either. I would recommend not sending more than 10 invitations per day because they do put pauses on people's accounts if they send too much. Number 3, develop a weekly habit of posting original content. Now, 2 original posts, I find that people find this a bit much. If you can do it, brilliant. But even if you can make 1 original post per week, that's a post on your thoughts on relevant trends within the industry. It's a post that, I suppose, shares your insight on something that's relevant to your targets. If you can do this, you'll find your engagement absolutely skyrockets. Whenever people think about, something relevant to your industry or their industry, you want them thinking of your name. This is how you do it. Look, number 4, simple. review your progress monthly. Ask yourself the question, is what I'm doing working? Is this particular post working, or is this one, or could I be doing something better? Lean in on what's working well and leave behind what isn't. And then look, the fifth is optional. If you are looking for a new job, use the career section on LinkedIn. It's fantastic. Use it to connect with recruiters. Use it to understand the kind of jobs that are out there and available to you. And look, that brings me on to my last P, my final point, persistence. This is the hardest point. As I was saying earlier, success on LinkedIn, it is not the result of a once-in-a-while mammoth effort. It is the result of daily habits sustained over a period of time. And it can absolutely feel like you are hammering away at the rock that just will not split. Day after day, week after week, it feels like you're wasting your time. But I promise you, if you keep it up, if you keep sticking to the habits and stay committed, you will absolutely reap the rewards on the LinkedIn platform. You'll open up opportunities for yourself, be it to new jobs or more growth in your chosen career, and you won't regret it. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, John, for that a very interesting talk. And don't forget that John is here. John is one of our career coaches today here at Jobs Expo Galway. So if you're looking to chat to John further, he'll be available, and the career coaching area is just up there. So thank you very much, John. And we'll also be placing all of the videos that we are of the seminars. We're recording everything, and all of our videos will be posted live on our website, which is jobsexpo.ie from Monday, and also posted on all of our socials as well. So just to mention again,